This episode is about how to do networking from anywhere in the world that has internet. I'm going to share a specific tool that I used during lockdowns when I was living in Kiev, Ukraine, and I met some super impressive entrepreneurs, super wealthy, super accomplished, super connected entrepreneurs who I am still in touch with to this day. And that was during lockdowns. And so I wasn't sure if this tool was still active, and I took a look at it, and it actually is. People were messaging me on it last year. I haven't used it for years, and because I used to schedule 2 calls a day with this. Now I'm mostly building, and actually I'm pretty averse to calls because my time is so limited. So now I really don't do networking calls, but some people want to do networking. And if you want to do networking, and there's no networking events around you, or there's no networking events that you really feel strongly about, this is a great solution. So the tool is, ready for it, drum roll, ba 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 ba. I literally use this every day during lockdowns. It's called Lunch Club, lunchclub.com. When it started, it was originally for in-person lunch meetings. And then during lockdowns, they shifted to using AI to match you with people who you will have similar interests and tastes with. Lunchclub.com. And I met so many successful crypto people from Lunch Club. I got crazy alpha in crypto from Lunch Club. I got huge tips from Lunch Club. I got people who are very interested in my projects. I spoke with investors from Lunch Club. I turned my friends on to Lunch Club. This tool was so good. And so if you've been sitting around and you're like, I want to meet more people. I want to feel inspired by more people. But, where I am right now, there's just no one good. There's no one who is really going hard and knowledgeable for me to talk to. No one who I can have deep intellectual conversations with and learn from. And if that's you and you're struggling to find these people, try Lunch Club. I think it's still free. When I was using it, it was completely free. I looked on the website for pricing. I didn't see it, so I am assuming that it is still free. And it just hooks you up with a great network of people, or at least it did. But a lot of the cool people that I met through it were messaging me on it last year, which is why I assume that it is still active. So this is a networking hack. And now I want to share. I actually learned, what's crazy too? I got a lot better at networking from using Lunch Club. I enforced a lot of the things that I learned from in-person events when I was really going hard in networking when I was back home in New York. The 2 biggest things that I learned about networking from Lunch Club is, 1, try to find common ground about something with the person, because it's one-on-one, just talking with another person. So try to find common ground with the person that you're talking to, something where you can laugh about, where you can smile about, that you both are interested in or feel passionate about. That's number 1. Find common ground. Number 2 is be intensely fascinated in what the other person is doing and what the other person has to say. And I've shared this tip a lot. The other person will talk themselves out. They'll talk and they'll talk and they'll talk and they'll talk. There'll be a big old chatterbox and they'll talk and they'll talk. And then they'll be like, so what are you doing? And they'll get tired of talking and they'll want to hear about you. And then you can share what you're doing. And they will be so fascinated because they just spent 20 minutes talking about themselves. And they will remember you better and like you more. That's what I would do. I had a routine. I would go into these calls. I would start by saying something really goofy, like, yo, you wouldn't believe it. I just woke up from the most epic nap, or I am drinking the most incredible bulletproof coffee, or I just had all this raw turmeric and now my teeth are orange. I really said crazy things like this. The raw turmeric is really good. It's really healthy. And I would say something like that as a quick icebreaker. And that would allow them to just jump off what I say. And then either from there, I would try to learn about them in a way where we could find common ground, or just hear about what they're doing. And then I would find common ground that way. And I would just sit very patiently and listen to them, and then ask questions based on what they said. That was my method. And then finally they would ask about what I'm doing, and I would tell them. They'd be so interested in what I'm doing because they just spent the last many minutes talking about themselves. Anyway, Lunch Club, I wanted to share this tool. I'll probably add this to my software page on my website because this tool was so good during lockdowns. I even used it after lockdowns, I think for a year after lockdowns. I even met influential people who I had already known in New York, and I had gotten matched up with them on Lunch Club. And so we just did calls for fun on Lunch Club. For example, I had spoken at the New York City WordPress meetup. My friend runs it, but we weren't that close at the time, and Lunch Club matched us. And through that, we became close. And now when I'm back home, we meet up. I met lots of people who sold their companies. I got invited to summits and outings. Gosh, it's a really good tool. So I wanted to recommend that. Wherever you are in the world, you can use this for free, I believe, to network with cool business people and learn things and talk about what you're doing. This is episode 214 of The Edward Show. It is nighttime in Poland. It's all dark out. I'm going to edit this and have some dinner. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you got value from this. And quick shout out to all the people who listened to yesterday's episode and who are starting Formula One brands. I am so excited about this. I'm going to create so many racing influencers. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.